Godzilla Final Wars, the last film in the Millennium series to celebrate Godzilla's 50th anniversary, while also being a final send-off to the Big G, only to be resurrected 10 years down the line. What are my thoughts on the film? A definitely flawed, but great film. Cheesy, action-packed, and monster mayhem as hell, but it happens to lean towards more Kamen Rider rather than Godzilla. I would definitely recommend this film to people of all audiences, especially if you haven't seen Godzilla before. Now returning to the figure, with Monsterarts it can either be a hit or a miss, and luckily Godzilla here is a hit, as they perfectly replicated the Big G's likeness into the sculpt. Now that I think about it, all of the Monsterarts lines that actually derive from suits were pretty good. Coincidence?
Making the mother of all omelets here, Jack. Can't spread over every egg.
As you can see here, the overall sculpt is superb. No paint blotches, no figure disproportions. With all these traits, you have to wonder if Bandai returned to their former glory. Firstly, the head, proportionally sized. The protruding eyebrows depicted in the film are beautifully recreated here, sticking to screen accuracy. Now to look at the eyes. When looking at the film, the eyes were, let's be honest here, barely visible. But here, they happen to enlarge the eyes in order to add extra personality to Godzilla. It's also worth explaining that there's no paint blotches, especially regarding the eyes, and in doing so, it is way better than my previous Monsterarts. Now to look at the body. It's basically your standard Godzilla skull. Black.
It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
Why won't you die? Nanomachines, son. They harden in response to physical trauma.
Now to look at the arms. Lengthy, similar to that of other Japanese Godzillas, and composed of multiple parts for added articulation. Look at the hands, they're basically 4-digit hand, perfect for grabbing, sharp and thick claws for scratching opponents, and such hands and claws are intricately colored, with them being clearly separated, unlike some other Monsterarts. Now, look at the legs, this guy is a dick boy, similar to other Godzillas. As you can clearly see, it's composed of various parts. Now look at the feet. The feet are also similar to that of the 2002 version of Godzilla, as they happen to be flat and they're basically a shoe so that the stunt actor can actually wear them and conduct those various moves depicted in the film. And we can't forget about the dorsal plates, as they are one of the most important traits in a Godzilla design, with each design having their unique dorsal plates, some of which are standouts. However, that is not the case when it comes to the final Goji here. From my perspective, the dorsal plates found in the final Goji are basically mundane. But the painting is a completely different story, as the paint job here is intricately implemented, with the extra shading being a standout. And of course we can't forget about the tail.
I have come.
And look at the size, Godzilla here is on the tall side, either rivaling or towering over other figures, typical of your Monsterarts. Here's Godzilla next to Gunpla, Figuarts, Figma, and of course, Godzilla, 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 and of course, Godzilla. If you've seen my previous reviews, the Monsterarts line aren't the best when it comes to articulation, as they happen to be
rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
However, for Godzilla fans who know their films, Godzilla depicted in Final Wars is an athletic boy, capable of a diverse array of movement. With that said, the Big G here is a vast improvement over its predecessors, as Bandai, unlike the Godzilla Ultima, went full in on screen accuracy. Head, basically an anti-aircraft gun, as can allow Godzilla to look at various angles. Oh, shite. Point to note, the ball joint is loose, so the head is likely to fall off. Now, body. Front and back movement is limited, but the side to side movement Insane! Now the arms. The arms are capable of a diverse array as they're far from the rigid arms of the previous Monsterarts and instead are loose. Of course, the additional joints also help when it comes to articulation. Hands! Of course the full 360. Now look at the legs. I can describe the articulation in one single sentence. A full split. Knees. 90 degrees of course. Actually, this is great for Monsterarts. Feet. Full 360. Look at the tail. Now, when it comes to accessories...
Oh my god!
Once again, Bandai has invested too much in the articulation that they ran out of funds to invest in the accessory department. In conclusion, what is there left to say? The figure here is revolutionary, as the Final Wars Goji here is capable of a vast array of movement previously unseen in the Monsterarts line. This is not to undermine the Sculpt, as Bandai also didn't come back and went full in, further elevating the bar for the Monsterarts line. The only drawback is the lack of accessories, which Bandai is getting too comfortable with, alongside the fact that the ball joints are way too loose that decapitating the Big G here has become more easy than ever. But even with its faults, alongside certain fixes, this is a great figure and I would highly recommend this to potential consumers, especially for people who are fans of the Final Wars Goji or newcomers interested in getting their hands into the Monsterarts line.